What's up, people? Good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing good, and we've got some more good news to go over here. I made a video this morning talking about an individual award that Geno Smith could win. Well, not too long after that video went up, we've had some more news on individual rewards. And it concerns Geno, but not just Geno. So let's talk about this because this is actually relatively historic. And like I said in the video this morning, individual awards, they don't directly correlate to team success, but they certainly help. There's certainly some degree of correlation there. If your players are winning prestigious Player of the X awards, they are probably doing things to help your team win games. At the very least, they are doing their job and then some. So, October was kind of a historic month for the Seahawks. They played 5 games. They went 4-1. And in those 4 wins, they put some of their best players on display in a way that, in actually all 3 cases, we had never seen before. Now, in 2 cases, it was because they're brand new to the NFL. But regardless, let's take a look at this. So let's start with Geno because we already talked about him this morning. But Geno Smith has officially won NFC Offensive Player of the Month. So, not just for 1 game, not just for 1 week, the entire month, 5 games worth. Pretty much everybody, except for the teams that went on bye, played 5 games in the month of October. And Geno was named the best of all players in the NFC on the offensive side of the ball. You look at his numbers from those 5 games in October, 69% completion, 1,200 yards. He added another almost 150 on the ground, 9 touchdowns, 1 touchdown on the ground. He had 1 interception that was complete garbage. It was obvious pass interference. You strike that off the board, and his QB rating's probably around 114, 115. He got sacked about 2.5 times a game. That included that 1 game against Arizona where he was basically getting flooded in the backfield. And he lost 1 fumble, and that's how you have a Player of the Month award. You play 5 games that are this good. And again, the Seahawks went 4-1 during this stretch. And the 1 game they lost, Geno played really good. Geno played maybe the best football of any game he's played this year outside of, I would say, the Lions game. So the NFC obviously has plenty of good players on offense that played very well in October, like Jalen Hurts. Kirk Cousins mostly played well. You had some guys like, I believe Dalvin Cook had a big October as well. It could have gone to a few different people, but you look at the cumulative numbers over this 5 game stretch, and it really makes sense why Geno gets rewarded. But that's not all. That's not all that we got from this crop of awards. We also had 2 Rookie of the Month awards. And I've already spoken at length about the possibility of these guys winning Rookie of the Year for offensive and defensive. Well, winning Rookie of the Month in October is going to go a long way towards them being able to do that. Like, let's keep in mind here that Ken Walker didn't get the starting job until the second or really 3rd game of the month. And let's also keep in mind he's had a couple of games where he didn't do that much in October. And he still won the award. So now that he's the full-time starter, you might be looking at a situation where he wins another Offensive Rookie of the Month later on. And if he wins 2, which to me is very realistic, very possible, he could have another month where he has, over 400 rushing yards and 4 or 5 touchdowns very easily, maybe even becomes a more prolific receiver, and he could win another one. And at that point, he's basically guaranteed to win Rookie of the Year, right? You win 2 Rookie of the Month awards, you're probably going to win Rookie of the Year. And Woolen, look, I'm not going to pretend like he's capable of playing a lot better than he's played over the last month because he's played really, really well. But regardless, this bodes well. So let's start with Ken Walker here real quick, the 5 game stretch that won him this award. 432 rushing yards plus 9 receiving yards. Not doing much as a receiver yet. That'll come later. But 5 touchdowns, over 5.5 yards a carry. Really, really special stuff. And again, that's including the Lions game where he didn't really do anything. He had like 24 yards from scrimmage in that game. That's including the Giants game where he really got kind of piled up in that game and couldn't get anything going. Ended up with less than 3 yards per carry. And yet, what he did in the other games was so substantial that the numbers are still there for him to easily win this award. So, definitely deserved, definitely good for him. And like I said, he can have another month like this, no problem. He could have a better month, honestly, in terms of efficiency. Like you look at some of this, and you go, he had 2 pretty forgettable games in this stretch, and he wasn't starting until the 3rd game when after Penny got hurt. So there is potential for even more stuff from Walker. And you look at the other offensive rookies, he's got a chance to repeat. And as for Tariq Woolen, I mean, I don't need to tell you guys what kind of month he just had. If you just want to look at the raw stats, it's pretty strong. 3 interceptions, including a touchdown, 5 passes defensed, 2 fumble recoveries, and I believe 19 total tackles. But it's beyond just these raw numbers that you see on screen here. It's also about his coverage metrics. He's only given up a handful of completions over this month. He's only allowed, maybe 1 big play that whole time. He's played all but 3 or 4 snaps on defense that whole time. He does have 1 fumble. I actually don't even remember when that happened. I don't recall him having a fumble, but whatever, it doesn't matter. It was still an incredible month of football. If I had to guess, over this month, he probably didn't allow more than 120, 130 yards in coverage. I'd have to look it up to be sure. But he is not just excelling in the box score stats. And when it comes to a cornerback, you need to excel in more than just the box score stats. And you can see on the whole year, he's only allowed 250 yards in coverage, 53% completion, and some of that obviously came in September. So the coverage metrics are off the chain. He's tackling fairly well. He's missed 1 tackle according to PFR. So he's you guys know how good Tariq Woolen is playing. So he wins the award for rookie of the month for the entire NFL, not just the NFC in this case. And apparently this is the first time in NFL history this has happened. Apparently this is the first time one team has won 3 X of the Month awards in 1 month since 1996 when Rookie of the Year became a thing. So we made history. Now, the history I'd prefer to make is, winning X number of games in a row, winning X number of Super Bowls in a row. Yeah, we get all that. But it's still pretty cool history. And these players deserve it. And it reflects how good our future looks. These 2 guys in particular are going to be here a while. Ken Walker and Tariq Woolen are just getting their careers started. And they're having some of the best rookie years of anybody in the entire league. And it's, every rookie class is going to have their studs, and these are 2 of the strongest studs so far. And of course, Geno. Now, Geno's not young. Geno might not even be here next year. That's possible. But regardless, the fact that we are getting this much good stuff out of a guy who could have gone one way or the other very easily going into this season is incredible. So, yeah, 3 X of the Month awards go to Seahawks players. Geno, Walker, Woolen, shout out to them. They're a big part of the reason why this team is having some success right now. So, I'm going to get out of here. Go Hawks. Should be another video later today. Going to stream over on the Hawks Nest tonight to talk about this Cardinals game. And let's do it again in November. Why not, right? No rule that says you can't. All right. See y'all later. Go Hawks.